So, Abdullah, is going back to normal actually going back to normal?
Yes, I'm 100% recovered. I just cannot be able to remember my old anxiety symptoms again. Like my anxiety is 100% gone. I'm just like so thankful for the Realign program, and it just saved my life and all that.
Do you think this was the best investment that you've ever made in your life?
Yes, it just seriously saved my life, and I'm just really thankful for this program.
Time. What's up, everyone? I'm Philip Mihailovich, the founder of Realign Reality, the worldwide depression and anxiety recovery program. So, today I'm here with my recovered client, Abdullah, who recovered in 67 days after 2 years of severe anxiety. So happy once again to have you, Abdullah, and talk about your story. So, Abdullah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where did this all start for you? And walk us through your story from the very beginning.
Hey brother, this is me Abdullah. I'm from Pakistan and it just started from the last years in the 2024 in January. And like after that, my life became a superly like terribly exploded my life. I just like my life is full of explosions. Like everyone, there is brain fog. There's all other negative loops and all other stuff like physical symptoms, chest tightness, brain crashes, brain fogs, muscle twitches, stomach issues. I have a lot of issues with myself. I was like, I'm just living my day, everyday life. Like I was just like, this is my last day. This is my last day. Like, but I was just like, when the day I just joined the DLN program, from the very starting, I was like confused when I'm gonna recover or not. But this is true. Actually, this is the main thing. I just did it in my life. Like, this is the bestest thing I just had did it in my life.
Amazing, Abdullah. Of course, and I know how what of a struggle it was for you because when you came to me, you were in absolute shambles, right? And your physical symptoms were one of the main reasons that you were stuck because you thought you had something seriously wrong with you. With the
Yes.
physical symptoms, again, like elaborate more on like the physical symptoms that you had.
I had muscle twitches, stomach issues,
Hmm.
brain fog, restlessness,
Hmm.
fatigue, insomnia,
Hmm.
and other palpitations,
Yeah.
and mostly we can say mm, like body temperature. Most of the times,
Mhm.
like my body became warm and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Negative brain loops
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and thoughts and everything else.
Yeah, I really understand because like myself, right, is I had one of the worst physical symptoms of all time. Like I developed chronic bloating, right? And that's where the health anxiety started for me, is when I saw that my physical body was changing, I thought something was severely wrong, you know?
Yes.
And it is so interesting how anxiety can show up physically. And a lot of people watching this, right? If you've got, muscle twitches, bloating, heart palpitations, and you think you have something wrong with your heart and all of this stuff, and you've been cleared by your doctor because you went to the doctor 100 times, Abdullah, like
Yes.
myself, right? And you continuously go in and out of doctors. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? That actually makes it 10 times, 100 times worse, right? Is because you think something's severely wrong with you physically, when in reality,
Yes.
it's actually just anxiety and it's showing up in your body. So, yeah, and as I was gone over every single client, I realized that, yeah, you had one of the worst physical symptoms I've ever seen, out of everyone that I've coached for sure. But moving on, Abdullah, like, how was your life in school? Like your daily life over the last 2 years with anxiety?
My daily life and school was so terrible. Like I was not able to focus on studies. Like was not able to focus on the exams. When they just come up, I was like, I can't do it. I just don't do them. Like I was like, lost my self belief and motivation and everything else. Like no good marks, no good grades, and everyone disappointed from me, and is also disappointed from everything else. Like from the studies, I just don't wanted to study. I just want to leave all that stuff and just rest in the house.
Yeah. I remember like you were telling me like how you had a lot of stress with your exams and all of that type of stuff because how do I put it, man? When you're in a state of constant fight or flight, everything else is enhanced like a million times. Like everything is just feels like I'm like, oh, it's really this little of how stressful it should be, but now it's amplified to a million times. So, getting through that, getting through anxiety would have been very tough on you for sure. And it does affect your daily life, man. I remember when you came to me, you were just all over the place. You're like, I don't enjoy anything. I don't enjoy school. I don't enjoy my studying. I'm not praying properly. You know, what do you feel like was your lowest point during the journey of anxiety? Like, can you remember a specific day, Abdullah, where you were like, this is the worst day of my life? Like, it's getting worse and worse.
6 months ago in July, I was like totally dead. I was just praying in the home, and like somehow I just like a panic attack out of nowhere like
Mhm.
came to me, and I was like, there is something wrong with me. Like I just seriously had to go to the doctors and to the emergency ICUs. Like there is something severely wrong with me. Like from very that day, I just became amazingly so panicked, and like anxiety and depression boomed into me. Like I was not able to forget that day, but I just like forget like now.
Yes, yes, yes. And I remember you like when you came, you were having panic attacks so much, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when I told you and I explained to you what anxiety was and why you keep getting your panic attacks. And ever since you had your next panic attack and you responded the way I told you, you told me,
Yes.
"Oh, it's like it's gone, like it's going away, right?" Because I've taught you
Yes.
now that anxiety was never the issue, that your response to your symptoms, your connection with your emotions and your thoughts and everything like that is the reason why you keep getting it back. But, obviously now symptom free and all that. But it's really, really interesting to see how no doctor, when you go to the doctors, right? This is like a big problem which I see with a lot of my clients is the ones who have gone to doctors and think there's something seriously wrong with them, they tell the doctors, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm feeling this,
Yes.
I'm feeling all of these weird symptoms. I don't know what's wrong with me. And the doctor doesn't even understand. The people, they don't actually understand what's going on with you. Put you on some
Yes.
medication. They tell you, oh, you might have this, you might have this, or we can't find anything. Label you as a mystery patient, just like myself. I was a mystery patient for a year of my life, not knowing where my symptoms were coming from. Like, it is the
Yes.
worst thing in the world. And over the last 2 years, what do you feel like anxiety has stole from you personally in your life? What do you feel like you missed out on because of anxiety?
My relationship with my family,
Hmm.
like my peace, my happiness,
Hmm.
my feeling of emotions, my feeling of enjoying the things, like
Hmm.
everything. It just lost everything from me.
And how did that make you feel, honestly?
Like it just made me feel like so bad. Like I was not be able to go somewhere like everyone else. Like everyone else is going ahead in their life. I'm just like stuck in their bed like every day.
Of course, I totally understand you. And what things did you actually try before you joined Realign Reality? Like, what
Uh,
actual things did you try? Yeah.
I tried I tried the therapy,
Yep, yep,
like
yep.
I did the talking therapy, like my medicines and like other stuff too. But nothing didn't help me. Like the thing only helped me is just like rewiring of my brain. Like the Realign program helped me to develop myself.
Of course. And, in terms of therapy, like, everyone knows that therapy is a scam. It doesn't work, right? And until you
Yes,
understand the brain and why, by talking about your symptoms, is the reason why you're still stuck, people will never understand this, right? And when I tell you, oh, therapy, what is the issue and why you're still stuck, and everyone goes, how? Like the most trusted people in the world, why wouldn't they tell me that by talking about my symptoms, by trying to fix my symptoms, is actually what's keeping you into a state of lack, in a state of you need to be fixed? And you can never recover that way, right? And yeah,
yes,
I'm glad obviously you came to me because you're fully recovered now. But on the other hand, is you didn't waste your time like I did for 10 years going to talk therapy, hypnotherapy, CBT, doing EMT. I've lost count of how much things I've actually tried, right? Because nothing can fix anxiety or depression, right? Because
yes,
it is not the issue. And this is something
yes,
people need to understand watching this is anxiety and depression isn't the issue. It is your
yes,
biological response to protect you, okay? So when you
yes,
are continuously responding to your symptoms with fear, with frustration, with why am I feeling this? I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel these symptoms. You get your panic attack and you're like, no, 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 I don't want to feel this. What you're actually doing is you're signaling to your brain that these symptoms are a threat, that they're dangerous and they need to be fixed or monitored, okay? So, when you send that signal back to your brain that something's wrong with you and that this is a threat, your brain goes, okay, there's a threat, and the only way I can actually protect you is by giving you more symptoms. because that's how your nervous system protects you with these
Yes.
symptoms, with anxiety, with depression. It's trying to protect you, but the thing is, it doesn't know what it's protecting you from. It only understands your response and behavior on how you're responding to something. So this is what creates that feedback loop. In other words, what the mental health industry call is a disorder. I don't call it disorder because it is just a label for how your brain's being programmed and
Yes.
how
They
your
just
brain's
call it
programmed.
chemical
Yeah.
imbalance. Like this is something chemical imbalance in your hand and everything like that stuff happened to you.
Yes, chemical imbalance is the biggest bullshit scam of all time. If anyone watching this and you still believe that you have a chemical imbalance in your brain, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you'll never recover, right? It is not even proven to be true. Second of all, is there are some evidence that when you are in a very low state, more particularly with depression, that your serotonin, your dopamine levels are lower. But it's not the cause for depression. It is the aftermath of being in a
Aftermath.
low state. That's
Yes.
why you feel more low and you feel like your dopamine, your serotonin's lower, is because you've been in a state of depression for so long, and now
Yes.
all of a sudden that's its baseline is low serotonin, low dopamine. And it does work with anxiety too. Obviously, I'm not going to get too much into chemical imbalance as we're talking about more of anxiety. I'm not going to talk about depression, but yeah, it's just something for everyone to understand is that chemical imbalance is the biggest BS of all time. And until you scrap all these limiting beliefs, you'll never recover. That's just the reality of it. I suffered, Abdullah suffered. Many of my clients believe this to be true, which is not the case. But yeah, and on your note, Abdullah, like, how do you feel about this? That when you go to the most trusted people in the world, doctors, therapists, to overcome this, what you're experiencing, and it's only made you worse, how do you actually feel about that?
I just really feel so bad about that. Like I just came to them like, for my cure for all that thing, and it's like they're just like keeping me stuck in that thing too, like a way more worse than before. Like they give me medications and everything else just to make me feel more worse, not to make me cure, and just to make some money, nothing else, just for some money.
Just some money, of course. And I actually want to emphasize on that point. I pretty much do it every interview in a lot of my videos for those who know me. But the reason why you can't recover by going to a therapist is because therapy isn't designed to help you recover to the point where you actually can't remember it anymore and you're a completely different person, right? What they do is they keep you there coming back in a cycle to cope, to manage, okay, you get this specific feeling or symptom, do XYZ to get rid of it, get a bit of a temporary relief. But what happens when it comes back? You go back to your therapist, go, hey, it didn't work. Give me a new technique. Talk about the same symptoms, all of this, right? And you're just stuck in a loop. I call it the therapy loop, right? And again, medication does not help you recover. Talking about it doesn't help you recover. It is only
Yes,
showing your brain that your favorite thing in the world is
it's
anxiety or
anxiety.
depression. Yeah. And
Yes. I
just
want
for
to share you something like
sure.
like yesterday, you just told me I'm 100% recovered. And
Yeah.
now from the last day, my brain is looking for like symptoms. Like, is there any? Is there any? Is there any? Like, just to like make me that thing too. Like there is something, there is something, there is something, that something is wrong. But like, there is nothing. I just keep on telling myself there's nothing wrong. I'm safe and you're safe now. You
No,
just
of
don't have
course,
to
of
be like
course.
that.
Yes, yes, yes. And like for people, like I'll give a little bit of an insight of how your brain works. If you are watching this right now and you still don't understand how your brain works, it is ultimately not impossible to recover because you could do it like unintentionally, but your brain is exactly like a TikTok algorithm. All right. It will give
Yes.
you more of what you focus on and what you engage with. Okay. So if you are continuously searching about your symptoms, talking about your symptoms, trying to fix your symptoms, going to therapy as someone who is sick, you are teaching your brain that your favorite thing in the world is anxiety. Your favorite thing to do is fix your symptoms. Your favorite thing to speak about is your symptoms, your emotions, your thoughts, whatever it is. So your brain's primary function is to give you more and support you on the things that you focus on and things you engage with. Okay, so
Yes.
going back to TikTok, all right, it will give you whatever you focus on. It doesn't care if you like it or if you don't like it. Same with the brain. It doesn't care if you like these symptoms or you don't like them, all right? If
Yes.
you continuously do this, your brain will only give you more because it wants to support you. So it's going to go, hey, Here are more symptoms to fix. Here are more symptoms to talk about. Here is more anxiety so you can search about it and make it the best thing in the world, right? Until you change your algorithm in your brain, you will never ever recover. It is the simple as that, okay? But
Yes.
moving on now, Abdullah, what would you honestly say sets the difference between real life reality and all of these traditional methods?
Like this is superly true. If you go on the Google or somewhere else, like they just say like anxiety and depression is not curable. They are not 100% curable. Like they just can be coped. But the Real program told me that it is 100% recoverable. Like it is copable. Like there's nothing that we cannot do. Like everything is in our hands and we can do it. Like we can do the recovery with just rewiring our brain simply and just simple, not that much medicines or that thing else. It's just simply like we just have to like change the parts of our brain and then we can recover 100%.
Yes, and I want to go back to a point you just made is if you actually do go on Google and say, can you cure depression or anxiety in your case?
Yes.
It says it's not there's no actual cure and that you are maintained. It's something to be managed, okay?
Yes.
So that's how you know it's all BS, all right? Depression and anxiety is not permanent. It is not a disease. It is not an illness. It is simply a pattern your brain has learnt. And the only way to rewire and get out of this is by creating new neurological pathways, new patterns in your brain to replace the programming. So then it starts using these new pathways, right? So when you hear people say it's impossible to recover, those are the people that have never changed anything in their life. They've never changed who they are. They're still in the same identity of someone who has anxiety or someone who has
Yes.
depression. And it's simply because they haven't been taught about neuroplasticity and how to rewire their brain. But yeah, good to hear that from you, Abdullah. Yeah, Abdullah, like what fears and doubts did you have before you joined the program? Like, did you feel a bit skeptical? And when I
And
told you, yeah.
like fear of failure, like what if I am fail again? Like fear of like what if like what will I do like if I'm not recovered once again? And like because I just tried a lot of things and I was like there's nothing that can recover this thing. But like like everything like fears and thoughts and doubts, everything came with a doubt. But like when I just joined it, everything becomes so clear. Like clarity comes from the action, not from the thinking or just like just laying in the bed and nothing else. Like clarity comes from the action. You just have to take the action. Like we just have to trust the process when it's not processing. Like we just have to trust it. Like all the things come from in you, like self belief, everything. Like
Yeah, man. The
just
clarity, yeah. What you were gonna say was the clarity. The clarity comes from the
from the
action, not the
action.
thinking. That is a very good
Yes.
line, and it's so true. Is the action is what rewires your brain, not talking. That's why if you told your brain, people watching this right now, tell your brain that you never want to feel anxiety again, that you never want to feel depression again. Okay, it doesn't understand you. It would, if it did, it would be like, oh, you could have told me that 5 minutes ago, and I wouldn't have given it to you for the last 5 years, 10 years, however long it's been. Okay, it simply rewires through response, how you respond, how you act, what you're doing. It's all behavior, right? It doesn't
Yes.
understand English or language or whatever it is. Simply,
Yes.
how do you act in your life? That's simply all it is. So Abdullah, when I told you that you would recover in few weeks, a few months, what did you honestly think?
There was so much uncertainty like from my past experiences. Like I was like this is kind of impossible because everyone say it's not curable. But
Mhm.
like with the actions, with the passage of time, everything become kind of clear. Like there's some times when you feel low, there are some time when you feel so motivated. Like things go up and down, but at the end everything works out. You just have to fail, and then you succeed.
It isn't a linear process. As you said, you have bad days, and that's all part of recovery. You cannot recover unless you have really, really bad days, right? And that's where
Yes.
99% of people quit. But we'll talk about that later on. Say you didn't join the program, okay? Do you feel like you would have made a full recovery if you didn't by yourself?
But if I didn't join the program, I think I will not be able to like make the full recovery at any cost. Like everyone here says, like do anything, do medicines, do therapies, like nothing, but nothing works.
No. Of course, it doesn't, right? It literally doesn't work. And it's proven many times, right? I'm still waiting for the day that someone fully overcomes a severe anxiety disorder by going to talk therapy, right? It doesn't
Yes.
work, or any other type of therapy. Anything that you're doing with the intention to get rid of anxiety is keeping you stuck in the identity of someone who has it. That's the
Yes.
thing. What do you feel like the program helped with you personally? So besides recovering from anxiety, right? Anxiety aside, what has changed in your life that you have seen, like from the version of you before to the version of you now?
Makes me manage to help me complete my daily tasks. Like I just had to pray and like make me so productive and so workful and so energetic. Like I just like go through tasks and like even though I just don't want to do it, but still I just do them no matter what.
What are some things that you do in your life now that you didn't do before you joined the program?
Brother running, praying on time, and like doing all the works by time. You know, like exercising, like taking care of myself, my
Mhm,
personal self,
mhm.
like focusing on my health, focusing on my like build my strength and my growth.
Amazing, amazing. Of course, you got a whole different schedule now. You're in alignment with the highest version of you.
Yes.
And like on terms of the program, like in real life reality, what specific parts of the program do you feel made the biggest impact to you? Like the course, the 24/7 support, the weekly calls, or the community? Which one do you feel like made the biggest benefit?
All the things make like all the things means a lot, like the community, like everyone like showing up for everyone, they're like they're just engaging and like kind of motivating everyone else, like this is something very good, like this is the main thing, like what a community needs, what everyone needs, like simply every normal person also needs it, like everyone needs it, like you just have to go through all that and you just have kind of feel some support and some motivation so that it's kind of easy for everyone to go through all that.
100% the community. Yeah, of course, the community is the best thing for sure in the program. It's amazing to be around other like-minded people who are striving for greatness, completing their goals, being their higher selves, right? And in the journey and in their recovery journey, like, it's a lonely season in that chapter, right? And like obviously I didn't have anyone to pat me on the back to say, "Hey, it's even possible to overcome this," right? I just honestly went all in and my wingman was God. That was my wingman, right? But having more in your corner with everyone in your program and in a community just makes the whole experience more easier to achieve and you got like I'm not the only one in this position, so what else would
Well,
you
like one of the bestest person I want to appreciate is just you.
Thanks, brother.
Like you're just taking care of all of us. Like you're just like managing your time, taking your time, like giving us all your precious time to make us all recovered and like make everyone feel good and like be engaged in everything. And the way you are checking on us, like it's the bestest. Like no one just did it before.
Thank you, brother. And I really appreciate it. And yeah, no, I love what I do, man, because I've been in your shoes before and I know what it's like to go through such a very you can't even like there's no words to describe what I've gone through with anxiety or depression. It's too severe to even put in words, but to be able to come on the other side of this and give back to everyone, it comes out of love and compassion because I know what it's like. So no, I appreciate you, Abdullah, for sure. And in terms of your recovery journey, because it definitely wasn't a straight line. Okay, that's for sure. So
Yes.
did you have like moments where you felt like this wasn't working, that your brain was gone, or where you thought you were going backwards? Explain a little bit about that process.
Yes, I really had moments when everything was like there's nothing working, like nothing has been working. Like there's like my brain is still the same, the symptoms are still the same. I still feel the same. My behavior is something being still the same, but somehow God has my back. I just managed and like He gave me strength and just like came back with the motivation that I can do it and everything can be worked out and sorted out. And like I just keep on going and going and going.
Yes, and one of my favorite things to say for anyone watching this, if you decide to join my program, sorry, or you don't, okay, I'll say that again. So for those watching, if you decide to join my program or if you don't, right, you're still gonna have these days in your recovery, okay, is where you think that you've gone backwards, where you think that it's not working for you, that your brain just can't be fixed. Those days are the most important days because it's not you going backwards. It's simply your nervous system going, hey, how are you going to respond today when I give you these symptoms? Are you going to run or are you going to accept it and still live your life, right? That's how you show your nervous system you are recovered. You have to use it as an opportunity to rewire your brain. It's actually the most important part of your journey to recovery. Abdullah, how important is it to have support during these tough days or weeks?
It's so important to have some support like during these days to like say some people like the motivation like everything every channel in the program helped us a lot to going through all that. I just want to share something with you like with all of us guys like uh, it's like kinda we can say guaranteed like there will be days when your mind screams 24/7 like you have anxiety, you have this, you have this, you have that, you have that, and like you just like it just wants you to quit that stuff. Like after also the recovery when you just said like you're 100% recovered, there will also be days when like your brain like kind of tests you like to make sure you're 100% recovered. Just don't listen to your brain, just keep going into the same thing again.
Of course, just a lingering symptom. It's just the old programming coming in to say, hey, I'm just testing you to make sure that you're all good, right? That's all it wants. It just wants to confirm how much, like, it just wants to confirm. Yeah, it just wants to confirm, hey, are you recovered? That's all, right? And when you continuously focus on your goals and when you're so immersed on your higher self and you're not even thinking about recovery, that's when recovery comes because you're no longer looking for it. You just become it because you already have it for sure. So, Abdullah, say like 2 or 3 months ago, with all the knowledge you have now, what's something you wish you told yourself?
Right. I think I just wanna wish I told myself like it is possible. You can always go, just keep going, keep going. Your breakthrough is around the corner. You just have to go through like no matter what.
Amazing. Your breakthroughs around the corner, of course. You are weeks away from a full recovery, guys, and it's not even a joke anymore. Is that once you understand the brain, you understand everything. Once you go all in and you don't look back, your recovery is guaranteed. And that's just how it is. How does it feel, Abdullah, getting help from someone like myself who's been in your shoes and experienced all the symptoms that you've experienced and gone on the other side? How does it feel to know that I've been in your shoes?
It just feels like kind of motivated. Like it just feels kind of so real that it's
Mhm.
so possible because you just like was in the same shoes as mine. So like it just make me kind of feel motivated and more
Mhm.
strengthened and believe that recovery is possible and everything is possible with the passage of time. You just have to keep slowing. Like sometimes keep going fast. Some people keep going slow. But I think the one who does the slow recovery makes everything feel good and like long lasting results.
Yes, yes, yes. And on that note, Abdullah, like when you went to your therapist, right, and they have no clue what you've gone through. 99% of therapists, guys, have never been at rock bottom and have actually rewired their brain to a full recovery, right? It's a very
Yes.
rare percentage in the world. I'm not going to say there's no therapist, but it is very extremely rare, okay? So when you're going to someone who has never been in your shoes, how could you ever expect that person to help you overcome it? Abdullah, I talk about going all in on day one and going, giving your 110%, even with all the fear and doubts. How do you think that played a big role in your recovery?
Like this played a big role in my recovery. We just have to go through no matter what. Like emotions are temporary. This does not define you. Like the one of the biggest advice from me is that never ever identify yourself as this or that. If you just identify yourself anxiety or depression patient, like you will have these loops and thoughts again and again and again. Just like if even your brain says you have this or that, just like say this is like I was a peace with my past and that just happened I cannot like do anything for that. Just
Mhm.
keep moving in with your life and just don't kind of be worried about the future because it's uncertain totally. We don't know about the next second, so just don't worry about it.
Of course, don't worry about the past for sure. You can't change the past, so why live it now? Simple as that. And what you said is, yes. You can't recover if you continuously identify with those labels of anxiety, anxiety disorder, depression,
Yes.
depression disorder, okay? When you say, I have this label, you are confirming to yourself that you have something wrong with you, and your brain, through confirmation bias, must scan your reality and back up that belief with evidence that you're giving, okay? So, identity is one of the biggest parts to why someone stays stuck is because they never let go of that label, right? The label's no longer describing how your brain's working, it's actually become your identity without you even knowing. So, Abdullah, was there a specific day when you realized you were recovered? And, did you feel like it was a gradual process, or was it just like, yeah, bang, I can't remember it anymore?
Yes, there was a day few days ago. I was just totally sure I'm 100% recovered, and like I was not being able to like totally know about the old symptoms or anything anymore else.
Amazing, amazing. Can't remember the symptoms, fully recovered, full best
Yes,
version of you. And it's amazing to see, Abdullah. I can honestly say that you went all in, right? You didn't miss one non-negotiable. You've listened to everything that I gave you, right? And I said to you, you listen to everything that I say, you will recover, right? A few
yes,
days
brother.
ago.
I seriously just some days ago I seriously did like felt like there I'm 100% recovered. There's nothing. I just was not being able to like kind of remember my old self or the old symptoms or the old feelings or thoughts anything anywhere else. I was like 100% recovered. There's nothing wrong with me.
Very good, very good. Of course, that's the thing with state dependent memory is once you recover, you realize you can't remember it anymore, right? The same way someone watching this right now, the same feeling that you can't remember what it's like to feel normal is the exact same feeling you get when you fully recover. You can't actually remember what it's like to have severe anxiety, right? It's like a past memory. So, Abdullah, how does life feel now that you are 100% recovered compared to a few months ago?
Life feels so good, so better, more aligned, more productive, more hard. Like I was like staying hard all the times, no matter what, just going through all that stuff and being happy, so happy, and like it is so like kind of easy once you understand the brain. Like it's become so simply good and easy for us to like when we understand the brain, it becomes so easy for us.
Once you understand the brain, it is like every person watching this, and a lot of people that come to me don't know how the brain works. And until you understand how your brain works, it is very hard to recover on your own unless you get lucky unintentionally by doing it, right? Like that's just the reality is until you learn how the brain works, your actions are going to keep you stuck. Abdullah, do you think this was the best investment that you've ever made in your life?
Yes, it just seriously saved my life, and I'm just really thankful for this program.
Okay, Abdullah. So if someone is watching this, okay, and they are still doubtful or skeptical in joining Realign Reality, what would you tell them?
I just want to tell them like just join in this program. Just join it with this guy. Like this guy is so amazing. Like and the Philip, like his OG, like just keep going. He will tell you like the right way that the therapist and the medicines don't tell you. Like he just tell you the right way. Just join in this program and just get with this guy. You will be recovered in some time.
Amazing. Thank you, Abdullah. Of course, is that's I don't do anything that a therapist does. I don't do any medication. It's all the actual real way how to overcome this through your brain. Your brain is
Yes.
the most powerful weapon in the whole entire world, and it wired itself into the state that you're in now, but it can also wire itself out. That's the power of neuroplasticity. Okay, Abdullah, what's the next chapter of your life now after recovery?
Now I'll just like keep looking for my upcoming exams, and after that I'll like productive in my life, doing some work and like being responsible in my life for my parents and for my family, and like just earn good and like spend some more money on the community, on the people, so like everyone will live good.
So now, because you know exactly what the higher self looks like for yourself, you have all these goals for you, you know what to do, you have the future ahead of you, you are now in full alignment, goals are on point, mindsets on point, habits on point, you are now set for your life after recovery, which is amazing. So, Abdullah, that comes to the end of the interview today. I just want to say thank you so much, Abdullah, for being one of my most amazing clients I've ever had. showing up every single day, absolutely dialed in, didn't miss any non-negotiables, just absolutely smashing it out. And now you've become someone that you didn't think you could become. And now you've proved to yourself that you can literally get through anything. And that's one of the most,
Yes.
that is probably the best thing out of this, guys, is once you overcome this, it proves to your nervous system and to yourself that you can literally achieve anything in this world because you can. But again, thank you, Abdullah, so much for, being an amazing client.